Leg amputation and life afterwards. This DVD has been made to give an overview of the rehabilitation after a leg amputation and the return to life afterwards. The film is divided into 4 parts: hospital rehabilitation, artificial leg or prosthesis assessment, rehab with an artificial leg, and life after amputation. Rehabilitation starts as soon as possible, aiming for the first day after amputation. Remember that everyone is different, and this DVD is a general guide only. A physiotherapist and occupational therapist will introduce themselves and explain what is going to happen. The therapists will first check that there is good pain control. Treatment will start with some attention to the amputated leg. Early touching and handling helps the leg to feel a part of you again and helps you get used to what it looks like. If you don't feel comfortable with this, you'll be supported by the team until you are ready to do so. Moving around in bed and exercising is encouraged as soon as possible to keep all your joints and muscles moving freely, as well as reducing pressure on the other parts of your body. The exercises for the below-knee amputee look at keeping the hip and knee free.
So you're going to bend your left knee up towards your chest, hold underneath your knee and pull that up to your chest as high as you can get.
The exercises for the above knee and through knee amputee look at keeping the hip moving well.
And then push back. While trying to keep your knees together as it were. And hip down. And down. Good. One more.
As well as the exercises, it is important that you don't let your leg hang down, as this can be very painful and will cause the swelling to increase and slow down the healing. Some people can still feel their amputated leg after the operation. This is normal and is called a phantom limb. These sensations can feel strange and sometimes painful. They feel very real and make you think your leg is still there, so care is needed when moving around to prevent falls. Your brain contains a map of your whole leg. Even after amputation, the nerves which supplied the part of your leg which is now missing are still there. These nerves continue to send messages to your brain, resulting in you feeling that your missing limb is still there. The exact cause of the phantom limb pain is unknown, but the way the nerves and brain work changes. The nerves can be very sensitive to swelling, pressure, temperature, tiredness, if you become unwell, or for no apparent reason at all. There are many different treatments available for phantom pain, either by using medication or massage, exercise, warmth, using an artificial leg, acupuncture, etc. Your doctor and physio can help you work out what's best for you.
So Marie and I are going to help you get sat out into the wheelchair if that's all right.
When you're well enough to start getting up, a wheelchair will be given to you. This is the safest and easiest way to start moving around. You will be taught to get in and out of bed, on and off the toilet, and how to use the wheelchair. You may progress to not needing a board to get into the wheelchair.
So we're just going to go through a few skills about the wheel to you.
You'll be shown how to use the brakes,
Just push them away from you. Perfect. All right. The next thing is
how to move the stump board,
lift your stump out of the way, and then the board will move round. Okay.
Yep.
Back in again. Just be careful to always lift your stump out of the way so to the sky. That's it, and it'll come up towards you.
Taking off the sides of the chair,
And pop it back in again. Get the back end in first if you can. A little wriggle, that's perfect. And then pull that pin back towards you. Lovely, that's it. And it'll flick round to the side. All right.
and how to move the foot plate.
Trunk back in and foot back on. Stop first, so pull the weights towards
You will be shown how to move about on the ward, depending on what you need to be able to do once you get home.
Lovely.
You will usually go home with the wheelchair, as this is the safest way of getting around and the most protective for your amputated leg. But there may be a need for you to get up with crutches.
Lovely. And back
Your physiotherapist will talk about this method, weighing up the benefits and risks of doing this. The most important thing is to stop you hurting your amputated leg and make sure being fitted for an artificial leg happens as soon as possible. You will be taught how to get on and off the floor in case you fall. As an amputee, you are at a higher risk of falling because your body's centre has moved with the loss of your leg, and you may have phantom sensations telling you that the leg is still there.
Heart calm down. Lungs up down.
Once you have checked that you're okay after a fall, give yourself time to recover. Grab a pillow or blanket and make yourself comfy.
Set up a damage.
When you are ready, you can plan how to get up. As a below-knee amputee, you can get to your knees to get up.
That's it. Push down through your foot.
As an above-knee amputee, you can't do this, so you can push yourself up with your arms and get up. You may need to use a half-height stool to help you. The physiotherapist will teach you the best way to do this. An occupational therapist will visit to talk to you about your home, your normal daily activities, whether you work, and offer support if needed in these areas. They will also order your wheelchair and cushion. With your consent, the occupational therapist can arrange a visit to check how easy it will be to get around your home. For example, if the wheelchair fits through doorways, turning space, furniture heights, access to the property. They will also order any equipment that may be needed to help on discharge home. This is to help get you home in the quickest, safest way possible. Sometimes this may not be possible. If large adaptations are needed to your home, you will be referred to the social services occupational therapist in your local area. There is often a waiting list for this. You may also need some help with personal care, which can be arranged through a social worker. A home visit will be arranged with you and your family or carers once you're medically well and you are safe doing everything on the ward with a little or no help. The home visit will check you are able to move around your home safely, get on and off the bed, chair and toilet, make a hot drink, and check that any equipment provided is suitable and useful for you. After the visit, you should feel confident that you are able to do all the things you need to in your home. You will then return to hospital where final preparations are made for you to finally go home. Once your wound has started to heal, the dressing will be taken down and you will be shown how to massage your leg to keep the scar free and mobile, the skin soft and flexible. Using a plain cream or oil, start with one hand at the top and one hand on the bottom of the leg. Make circular movements with each hand, moving the muscles, taking care not to rub on the skin itself. Once your wound has started to heal, you can massage the scar, using your fingers, stretching and moving the scar in a circular movement. You will also be measured and fitted with a stretchy compression sock to help keep the swelling down in your leg in preparation for an artificial leg. You will be able to slowly build up the time you are able to wear the sock until you're able to wear it all day. The physiotherapist will help you with this. Once the wound has started to heal, depending on any other injuries you may have, you may be able to start standing and walking with an early walking aid. This will be done with the physiotherapist. Sometimes you won't be ready for this until after you've gone home. The pneumatic post-amputation mobility aid is made to help you get up as early as 5 days after the amputation. It helps to get you walking again and helps get rid of the swelling in your leg, which speeds up the healing. You'll start on the parallel bars and may move on to using the elbow crutches. Once you're ready to go home, a letter will be sent to the Artificial Leg Centre or Disablement Services Centre, where you'll be referred for your artificial leg fitting. Depending where you live, you'll get an appointment for Bournemouth, Isle of Wight or Portsmouth centres. You'll continue exercises and walking at outpatients physiotherapy and be given information about this and contact numbers if you have any problems or worries.
A month after the accident, I went to Bournemouth Hospital where I saw the doctor, and she introduced me to the nurse and the physio, and then I met Caroline, who makes the legs, and I've been with her ever since, which is about 8 years now. The doctor initially wanted to know if I was happy with all the progress that was happening. She asked me about the accident and how I was coping with it. Did I need to see a counsellor, or did I want to see a counsellor? I didn't feel at that stage that I needed to. She also asked me if I was comfortable with everything that was going on and going to be happening. And then I moved on to the nurse that just checked everything was healing and everything was okay. And then on to making the leg, which at Bournemouth is done by measurements. They take all your measurements and then they put them into a machine, and you're made, the top of your leg is made for you. Have about 3 or 4 appointments to get this right, and then you'll take your leg home with you. Then you go on to your physio, which I had in Southampton. After I'd taken my leg home with me, we weren't allowed to use it as such. I went back to Southampton to physio, and it was left there until the physiotherapist felt it was safe for me to take it home. We used a blow-up leg called a PAM aid for me to learn how to walk. Then we went on to using my actual artificial limb. And that's once it was satisfactory that I could use it, then I was allowed to take it home with me. To start off with, your emotions are very mixed. It's the unknown and you don't know what's going to happen. But as the processes are explained to you, you become a little bit more confident. And when they let me take it home, it was very emotional. I felt that I could climb a mountain, so to speak. And one day I actually did. I took my husband Zorbin and I was sat at the bottom of the hill looking up. And then he came over to collect me and said, "Right, should we get you in the Land Rover to go back up the hill?" And I said, "No, I'm going to climb up that hill." And I did. So you have to do little things to prove to yourself that you can get on and you can cope with it.
On my first visit to Portsmouth Disablement Centre, I see a young lady, Emily Harrison. She's a prosthetist. She's one who makes the prosthetic limbs and fits them. I've seen other prosthetists in Portsmouth, but she's the one I see all the time. I've seen some MHS nurses down there, but I've never seen a counsellor or a doctor. If I get any problems, I go and see my own GP. The questions I was asked when I first went to the Rehabilitation Centre was when I actually had my accident, when I had my leg amputated, how was I getting on in rehab, in physio, and what I wanted to do with my life. One of them was getting back on riding my motorcycle again. I also done what helped me was write a day diary from day one of my accident. Obviously my family filled it in to start with, and then when I was well enough, every day for 2 years I wrote down what I'd done. And it was good to go back and reflect. And I could see how far I've come in a short space of time, which was really helpful. Okay, the next stage in the process in Portsmouth was they cast your leg. They take a plaster cast of it if it was broken. Then you wait normally 2 weeks and you go back for a fitting. And if it's all okay, that you bring the limb home with you, and then you practice wearing it at home a few hours at a time. Then the best thing about Portsmouth is it doesn't fit. You make your own appointments, so it's the time, the convenience to suit you, which is a lot better. So if you have any little niggles, you go back. So your rehabilitation's quicker, really.
You wear cotton stump socks before putting the leg on, and then practice putting the leg on and taking it off.
The contour is the same on each side.
You will first be shown the parts of your artificial leg where you can bear weight through it and where you shouldn't. Once the artificial leg has been made, you will start your walking training. You will then be taught how to put weight on the leg and balance in the parallel bars. Once you are able to do this, you will start walking practice. Your walking should be as close to normal as possible so as not to strain any other part of your body. If your amputation is above the knee, you will be shown how the artificial knee works and how to use it. When you're ready, you will move on to a walking aid which makes sure you are safe and that you don't trip. You will practice this walking until you may not need a walking aid or you are safe and confident with your walking. Once you get more confident, you are taught how to go up and down stairs. As a below-knee amputee, you may be able to climb stairs one at a time. Also, you will be shown how to go up and down steps. Finally, you will practice how to walk down slopes and walk outside on different surfaces such as carpet and concrete. Once you are able to do all of this safely and confidently, you will be able to take the leg home to use in your normal daily life. Your physiotherapist will give you advice on how long and how often you can wear your leg for. Remember, if it doesn't feel comfortable, you may need to change your stump socks and get a better fit. Once you've been discharged from physiotherapy, if your leg still feels uncomfortable, or if it's rubbing, or the skin is broken, phone the Disablement Service Centre to make an appointment to see the prosthetist. Phone the prosthetist if you are needing to wear more than 3 thick socks, the leg starts to make unusual noise or moves, if the leg or liner start to wear out, or if you need new socks. A lower limb amputation is a very traumatic and life-changing event. As you can see from this film, you can return to a full life, albeit probably different as before. You can resume the roles you had before, including working and participating in sports and leisure activities. As well as the rehabilitation team, there are organisations, both voluntary and charitable, that can offer support, help and guidance. There are many local sporting clubs. These are often advertised at the Disablement Services Centre. Thank you to the Wessex Trauma Network who funded this DVD. The making of this film was possible only with the support of the therapies department staff and management, and by the time given by the people who feature in this film. Thank you to Ginny, John, Linda, and Steve.